Summer has arrived, and that means it is time for us to go through and do those must-get items recapped, and as always, we are going to be starting over at eventhub. First of all, we are going to speak to Ano Miko, and when you do that, you'll get the July shop. There may be other items in here that are free, but if you go straight to the house tab, you'll find yourself at Twilly's Party Works. You may very well want to pick that up via trusty home. Valencia also has some treasure hunts for us. I believe I should have covered most of those on treasure hunt guide videos, so have a look at those if you need them. eventhub is also playing host to Frostville in July. I'm not covering the Frostville in July maps. We will do that in a separate recap video. There's only like 3 maps for that mini event, but nevertheless, we'll look at that in the future, so make sure you stay tuned for when that video appears. Tyrannus also has an artist showcase shop, but there is crucially this Great Bite Shark. If you choose to take on the Great Bite Shark, this is the drop list you can get yourself. There are some AC tagged items within here, which will inevitably end up being quite a reoccurring theme throughout this video. So if you do see certain items you're just a bit unsure of, make sure you grab them. You got your bank storage for them, and with Adventure Quest Infinity, there's going to be loads of bank storage, so you may as well pick up whatever you feel like. Next up is going to be burningbeach. This is where you can get yourself the beach hut house, which we'll come on to in just a moment. First of all, though, there are a couple sharks. If you decide to take on these sharks, as you can see, there's loads of seasonal items available here, including the first real batch of our surfboards. There was the beaching surfboard just a moment ago. There's even kites. I don't know what kind of items the kites are, whether they're weapons, whether they're going to be pets, capes, but you know what, we may end up going along picking up just to find out how we're going to fly ourselves that kite. We said there's loads of different surfboards. You've got all sorts right here, all the way down to a beach umbrella right at the bottom. Progressing through the map, we come across the Lavazards. Lavazards have diabolical gear, well, diabolical summer gear. There's also going to be plenty of swimsuits throughout this video, which is always a bonus because, you know what, if you do like theming yourself, then this is the perfect time to come along and pick up some of these items. I particularly like that Dragon Floaties armor. There's always cool, quirky stuff that comes with the summer event, including this Zardman outfit as well, if you want a little rubber ring around your waist. Next up, if you speak to the main NPC, you can go to the Ultra version of the boss. We'll show you what both versions drop, just in case there's any differences. Crucially, the boss at this map does drop you that beach hut house, so if you would like to get yourself the house, this is where you're going to be able to. There's also some inflatable Dragon Slayer items. Well, I say some, it is essentially a full set, because a little bit further down, you'll also see there is the Summer Dragon Slayer, so you can put your inflatable head with that, and you'll get a full set. I do quite like the Thunderborn battle gear that's within that drop table as well. If you leave the room and come back in, you'll find yourself the normal version of the boss, and this is the drop table for that one. We might as well just show you this. I think it's going to be pretty much exactly the same, minus a few items. It doesn't look to me like you can get the Dragon Slayer full set from this one, so you will have to go to the Ultra version if you would like that. But at least you can see, maybe you don't necessarily want that, and then you can tell from this particular list which of the items you may want. But they do seem to chop and change between the two, so it's very much worth just paying attention as we go down here, because I feel like we're seeing lots of different bits that we don't see on both bosses. But I could be imagining things even though it's right in front of my eyes. But, you know, that's the way it goes around here. Sometimes we just kind of need to deal with it, I guess. We're going to be moving on, though, to yet another map in just a second. As far as recapped videos go, summer's a bit of a shorter one, even though this video is still going to clock well over 10 minutes. Our next map is Summer Break. Make sure you join to this map. Again, loads of shops to check out, so you will want to make sure you're speaking to the NPCs as you go through this particular map, because as you'll notice, BLoD has loads of different shops available, including this Summer Break merge, as well, with even more wetsuits and beach themed gear for you. The crucial thing with the NPCs at this map is they also have quests, and those quests will give you various rewards too, so just make sure you really are talking to everyone in case there is something absolutely golden that you would like to have a look at. I mean, look at that, there is the volleyball hero and volleyball captain sets. Who wouldn't want them to add to their collection? Right, we're going to go through all 4 of the monsters in this room here. So let us first of all have a little look then at the Bacon's Catzard. This lovable rogue has some Crystallis gear, specifically chapels or something like that they're called. I call them flip-flops, so throughout this video we're going to call them flip-flops. You may say they're something totally different or it's just a British thing, but we won't argue over the naming of certain items, but now you know what I'll be talking about. Anyway, that's Bacon Cat gone through. Banana Split actually has the largest drop list, and there is a wide variety of, well, more surfboards. We've got plenty of katanas as well. I do really like that legendary Twilly surfboard. You'll note there's there's only one legend item on this entire drop table, which is a pure bonus. So if you do want to get yourself some swimsuits, if you want to come along, grab some surfboards, you've got Swordhaven Summer right down the bottom if you want some different hairstyles. This really is a good map to come along to because there's a good variety of gear you can pick up and loads of different monsters with loads of different drops. On screen now is the summer casual shirt, so you can get that one. They all have their male and female variants to these armors. I'm not entirely sure exactly what makes these specifically Swordhaven hair, but if you would like any of the Swordhaven summer hairstyles, these are the ones you can. There's also a watermelon surfboard right at the bottom as well. Here we have got the Mirage, or the Mirage. I really hope I said that in some way that sounded appealing. It is an ice cream, and if you fight him, there's even more surfboards for you. There's also an Explorer rune that really did look and read like a ground rune. So if you would like to get the Joy Explorer rune, I would thoroughly recommend going along and defeating Mirage in order to get that, because those are the type of items that are typically often a little bit harder to obtain. You can get the Lifeguard set if you speak to Gravelin and quest for it. We also threw up the Solar Elemental, but it only had some Starfish plushies. Next up is these Ice Cream Sharks. So if you take on the Ice Cream Sharks, as you can see, we've got yet another massive table to go through, including the Bandit Drakov surfboard. We've also got some Ice Pops, so if you'd like to run around with some giant Ice Pops, then this is definitely a monster that you'll be wanting to take on. As we go down the list, we come across some Crystallis Ice Pops. There's also going to be some Floral Lemonade. I'm not sure I'd necessarily want lemonade in my hair. I guess there's probably worse things you can get in your hair. I know it was like a flower style, so I don't really know it's called lemonade, but my head's gone off on a random tangent. We went past a Hollowborn surfboard. There is also a jug of lemonade and a load of bear plushies. I'm now understanding the lemonade trend a little bit better because it is a full set now that we've seen that lemonade armor also appear. So if you'd like to go around with loads of lemons on your top, then that is definitely the armor for you. We have some more Ice Pops as we come a little bit further down. Looks like there's also a Sour Frisbee, so I'm not entirely sure what that's going to look like, but we'll find out. There you go, so Sour Frisbee. It is inevitably, it's a lemon Frisbee. Ignore the Sneevil that popped up. He is rare. Remember that when we go down these tables, anything with a green rare, you can no longer obtain. I'll try my best not to show them, but somehow managed to flick the Sneevil up, which was incredibly irritating. Here we have got the Cyborg Shark. This is the final monster that you're going to be coming across, and as you can see, there's even more surfboards for you to grab. There is the Hollowborn Kindness weapon. I assume these Lay and Hollowborn items will be dropping. You may just want to tread carefully if you don't get them for ages, because maybe they're tied to Lay's birthday or something, but that's just food for thought in case. Next up is join Blazing Beach. Once you're at Blazing Beach, there is this beach merge shop you can have a little look through first. Not loads and loads of gear in there, but you can make yourself look like a pirate for summer and basically put yourself on fire if you'd like to be a flaming pirate. The Magma Pirates drop 2 weapons. Well, I say 2 weapons. It's the same weapon, but just a single and a dual version. That is a similar story if you take on the Burning Bombardier, and if you do, instead you get like these pickaxe-y type weapons. And then there is also the Red Hot Raider, who this time around has got some katanas for you. But that's not all, because inevitably there is also a boss at this map, and it is going to be Magma Blazebeard. Whilst the majority of these items have gone rare, you have got some Ember style gear and also these Blazing Heart katanas, which in my non-expert opinion look really, really cool. Right at the bottom is also a spear. Next up is going to be Ghostbeach. This is where you can get yourself some Chanclas. I don't know how the heck I meant to say that. Or, as I call them, flip-flops. This ghostly boss will drop you plenty of different variants. And crucially, there will be some dual ones a little bit further down this table. They have got this dual blinding one. You've got the Abyss version, the Legion version, there's a Doom version. So really you can get a whole set of these footwear items if you would like to go around bashing people with them. I don't see why you wouldn't. It's quite cool to make your setup using these. There's loads of different ones. This is purely what seems to be the majority of this drop table, is just these different shoes that you can have as weapons. But you know what? I'm not complaining about that. It's always cool. Like I said, you do get plenty of quirky items with summer, though that is often just the way these ones go. There's some Filipino flag scarves if you would like those, that also drop from here. And then we've also got this warrior armor set too. Really do quite like the warrior armor set. Something slightly different compared to the rest of the bits that we've got through these summer drops so far. So it's always nice to see something a little bit different. Again, we've got some hats continuing on with that set, and also some hairs at the bottom, including these, I don't know, brooms as well. So there you go, brooms. Next up is going to be the Wisteria, one room over, still table over at Ghost Beach. This drop table is pretty short, but you can get a load of Wisteria themed gear if you would like to, including its very own swimwear and plenty of morphs. Next up is lavarockbay. This one is really important. You can farm for the Burning Sword of Doom. You can farm for the Burning Light of Destiny. There is also the Burning Blade of Ore to grab here too. So if you do not have any of those weapons yet and you would like to go about farming for them, then right now this is firmly your chance. I'm sure they're going to require a fair amount of grinding. I don't know how long it's going to take to get all those bits, but if you do go for it, let us know down in the comments because it's always interesting. I personally haven't actually gone for those variants, but you never know, maybe this is the year we will. So over at lavarockbay, you have got this dragon boss. I will show you both variants of this because with these kind of summer mini bosses that you get, they do the challenge version, or at least a harder version, and then a more standard one. The drop tables do seem quite similar, but if we head over to lavarockshore, this is the one where you also have the whirlpool boss alongside it. The whirlpool does not drop any items, just for anyone that was wondering, and the drop table does seem to be missing an item in that ultra up version. Next up is sunsetdunes. So we are going to look at the anchor boss and also the sunset treasures merge. Again, this is one of those maps with one of those kind of mini boss, challenge boss type areas. So you do have two different versions you can go to. Really like that Phoenix cape in the shop. That is my particular favourite. So if you come along and defeat this version of anchor, as you can see, there is a slightly longer drop table. I imagine a lot of these items are probably used in the merge. I would guess that is mainly their purpose, but I could be wrong and going off on a tangent with that one. Then you can head over to Sunsetridge if you would prefer, and once you get here, there is another version of the exact same boss, just with less items to grab. Now then, let us move on to our final map, which is going to be Sunken City. In order to get to Sunken City's boss, you do need to complete all the quests, which I have not done as I found out. So there's something I do need to tick off, but I'll still show you what the boss would have dropped if we had got to it. As you can tell, there's a load of aqua themed gear here, so this really does change up what we've been looking at over the summer. I do like the Riptide armor. I think that looks really cool. And again, you've got similar stuff in the merge if you would like to go for it. There is a shark penguin plushie. I don't know what I think to that. It was quite scary. Anyway, folks, that brings us to the end of this recapped video. I hope, as always, you found it useful and you can go along and farm some new things, check out some maps you've forgotten about them, and crucially, have a good summer. So until next time, have a lovely day, and I'll see you all again incredibly soon.